Hello, my name is Robert Lyon. I build automated businesses for people like you. All right, today's video, we're going to talk about one-on-one coaching, how to build a leverage business. Okay, so the leverage of one-on-one it's not really very leveraged because you're only making money when you're on the phone, okay? But compared to maybe what you're doing now, being on the phone and getting paid a lot of money might sound really, really good to you. So the real thing that you're doing is bringing value when you're doing one-on-one coaching, right? Um, you can charge anywhere from $100 to $100,000 for 1 hour of your time to basically help people. And the real money with one-on-one coaching is when you've kind of got some credentials in a specific field, right? You are the grandmaster of underwater basket weaving, and all the underwater basket weaving people want your high ability or your insider knowledge from years of being in the underwater basket weaving community. You know what I mean? And it's because like they see the value in talking to you. The other thing that you can do is you can solve problems. Okay. And so you find a big enough problem to solve, you're going to be able to make a lot of money doing one-on-one coaching. Doing one-on-one coaching is a real simple business model, though. That's why, ever since this whole pandemic thing, I think everybody is a coach now, apparently. They fell into the coaching pool. They've been baptized in the great rivers of coaching, right? So now everybody's a coach, so people are a little more skeptical. And even the word coach kind of has, I don't want to say it has a negative tone, but it has a different feel to it now than it did back in the day. It was a very respected more thing. So, now we go by consulting, or I'm calling myself a growth consultant, and things like that. But that doesn't really matter. So how do you build a coaching business? I have another video that apparently people really, really fucking love about this that I made about a year ago. But if you want to build it out, I mean, the only thing you truly need to build a coaching business is you don't even need a website. I would really focus on building a community around your niche, right? So first you need to find a problem that you solve specifically. Let me see. Yeah, this is literally the first one pops up. So go to coaches, consultants, and course creators. Manny did just a really good job of this kind of style of building a community, right? He's got 20,000 members that are all coaches, consultants, and course creators. Everybody's in here. He doesn't really allow people to like post videos or get spammy in here. And he just did a great job of building an organic business. I don't know if he's making any money, to tell you the truth, but that's kind of how you start. So if you really want to start by building a community, basically. Start by building a Facebook group and then adding people that are in your niche. And the way that you really do this is my profile is not perfect, but see, I got Big Sales Mastermind. That's going to be the mastermind. Robert Lyon. You put the link to your Facebook group inside your basically your profile, right? And then that way, whenever you're posting and you're commenting all over the old interwebs, people will come back and check out your profile. They'll click this. They'll join your community. Blah 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 blah. I'm not really doing this anymore. And then you have another link to your other stuff, but you mostly just want one link. And another thing that you can do is I would really say something about the problem or the person that you solve in your Facebook profile. But you want to just make sure that your profiles look crisp. Same thing for LinkedIn, same thing for Twitter, same thing for Instagram, YouTube, blah, blah, blah. But the big power of if you want to build a coaching business is build a community first, give free, show people that you can actually help them, and then every time you put out a post or every time you start a conversation and people start responding, you build a relationship with them kind of one by one, sending DMs. And that's the first way that you can really start a thriving coaching business, okay? Number 2 that I would recommend is, again, you got to pick your niche. You got to pick, who you're going to help. But if you're a coach, you should kind of know something about whatever you're doing. So hopefully you have that. And then I really want you to, first I want you to make a list of the top 100 influencers already in your coaching niche, okay? At least 50, at least 20, okay? And you want to put them in like a web page or like a Excel spreadsheet. So like for sales, right? I would be like Grant Cardone, Alex Hormozy, Brad Lee, the guy from Wolf of Wall Street, blah, 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 Jeremy Minor. like all these sales gurus, and I would basically look at their content, right? And I would try and kind of emulate their content. That's one thing you could do. Number two is go to their YouTube channels, their Twitters or their LinkedIn, and see their most viral and most watched videos, okay? This is how we're going to do it. But this is really important, is to build a list of the top 100 influencers specifically in your niche, okay? And then you just want to see what they're doing, see what their funnels look like, sign up for their newsletters, see what their Instagram profiles look like, see what their Twitter, see how often they're posting content. And you can also just start to go into all these profiles and start to comment and start conversations with people that are friends, or adding friends on Facebook that are already following these people, because you know they're interested in your niche, and maybe they'll want to work with you because you're more personable and you're less scary than the big influencers and things like that. The thing I want you to do is really figure out the problem that you're solving, okay? And when you're looking at the YouTube channels and all the social posts of all the top 100 influencers in your coaching niche, really figure out what the core thing is. I want you to pick five. This is called your greatest hits, okay? And this is how you can create content that actually resonates with your customer at the deepest level, so you don't have to constantly be on this stupid roller coaster of creating content. You create 5 pieces of content. This is your greatest hits, okay? So you really got to like know your industry, focus on your specific niche, and then figure out what are the 5 things that will show that you are a superhuman coach in this category, right? And then give it to them for free. Always have a link to your basically, I use OneTub. You can use Calendly link, but basically just have a link going directly to your calendar link so that they can book a call. And you can either give a free call right up front and then have them pay later on, which is what I would recommend. Or I actually have I have a calendar link that charges people $1,000 to talk to me for an hour, and it's just like whatever your choices are. I don't really use that one anymore, but I recommend doing a consultation call, and then going from there, pitching them at the end. Giving value first, showing them you can help them, and then telling them, look, if you want to work further on this. This is sales. I can teach you anything about sales. I'm a sales master, but that's kind of what I would do. Anyways, back to what I was saying is create 5 pieces of content, right? That this is your greatest hits archive, okay? So this isn't pieces of shit content that you're going to put out on Twitter or Instagram and it's just going to go away forever. This is 5 things. It can be blog posts if you're not into videos. It can be podcasts if you only want to do audio. But I would recommend doing a video so that they see your face, and you really just make these 5 pieces of content. And the reason you make these 5 pieces of content is it establishes credibility, shows that you know what you're talking about, and it gives value, and it calls out to your desired customer. Okay? And once you have these 5 pieces of content that are like, or at least good enough to pass, you can use these as ads. Okay? That's kind of like the next step, is if you're not into doing the organic stuff, which is, I coach a lot of people. You can make millions of dollars being a one-on-one coach without spending a single fucking penny on advertising. All right. But I love me some advertisement. I love me some copywriting. So I'm all about that. And I coach and I teach that. But as long as you have a niche, you can solve someone's problem, you can go into Facebook groups and you can just start messaging people, or you can go on to Instagram and you can start DMing people. And by having these 5 pieces of content that shows that you're a serious person, it can really add to the conversation and give you credibility. And you basically go from create the greatest hits to reaching out to people that are in your niche and solving their problems. And you create posts that create engagement, and then you engage with your customer. And then it's really just all about having as many conversations on social media as you possibly can, with the intent of booking a phone call. Once they book a phone call with you, you basically let them talk. You let them tell you what their problem is, what their goal is, and what it would be like working. And then you tell them the price, you close the deal. And then now you have a regular scheduled phone call with them once a week, once a month, and they pay you a retainer. And then The problem with the one-on-one coaching, like I was telling you before, is there's a cap. All right. You can only talk to so many people during the day. You only have so much energy to do a good job at talking to people during the day. But I mean, if you're charging, let's say you charge $1,000 an hour, right? Just to keep the math simple. And most coaches charge way more than that. I'm just giving you, let's say you can do 6 calls a day, right? So that's $6,000 a day times 30. That's $180,000 a day. All right. So that's your cap. But I mean, that's pretty good. So what can I say? But that's kind of how you get this whole bad boy started. Again, I build automated businesses. I do copywriting, and I basically would build this whole funnel for you, or I would help you build your community or your social plan or whatever you want. So if you're interested in that, book a call. I hope this was helpful. And like, it's one of the easiest business models you can build and you get started. The big thing though is like, you want to be solving someone's problem and genuinely helping people, right? You don't just want to be a coach because it sounds cool. Like you have to add value. Otherwise, it's just not worth it. But people need help. The biggest thing about being a coach is like, when you start doing it, you realize like nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. Like if you know 1% better of a way to do things that will get them, 10x results, then you're already ahead of the game and you can start coaching. So the other thing that you need to realize is people need your help. Like life is confusing. These decisions that we make every single day are hard. Everybody's going through it. Everybody needs guidance, essentially. So if you're going to be a coach, try and be a really good coach, and don't be a greedy bag of shit like most of these other coaches are. Be a genuine human being and help people, and your business will soar, and you'll make insane amounts of money, and it can really be really successful. All right, and then if you need help with any of this stuff, let me know. But this is a little series I'm doing on how to create leverage businesses. All right, talk to you in the next one. Bye.